Hi everyone. Today is January 26th, 2022. Happy Republic Day to all my Indian friends and family members. um, Today I want to talk about an article that is around in the Economic Times, in the Times of India, I guess. But anyways, it's the Times of India Economic Times article. And I want to thank Salivate Metal, who actually read out and shared this article yesterday or the day before. And oh my goodness, what they're doing, or this announcement, it is exactly what FDR, what's his name, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, did to the American people in the early 1930s. After which, basically, he took all, or not took, he had all the American people exchange their gold for $20 and said, oh, one ounce is equal to $20. So so here's $20 paper, and then after everybody did that, he banned it, like not confiscated. He like said it's no longer legal to hold, and then changed the price from $20 to $35 an ounce. He didn't give the people the extra $15 he made out of that, and yeah. Anyways, I get very irritated when I think about that, and yeah. Anyways, and so obviously I get upset thinking about it. So this is history repeating itself in a way, but for the Indian people. And I don't know what they think, what these governments think, that we're that stupid that we're going to allow that to happen. Nevertheless, if you live in India and you don't know about what happened in America, I'm going to read this article out to you, and I'm going to tell you line by line, because this is written in nice, economics language that sometimes people don't. The words sound all nice, like, oh, this will benefit the blah blah blah. But you know what? Actually, you're not that person who is going to benefit. Actually, the Indian people, and particularly the rural Indian people, are going to get screwed by this. Pardon my French. Okay, so this is the article right here. All right, I don't know if you can see it. It's in the Economic Times. That's the name of the article. Gold savings accounts likely to check the widening current account deficit. And it's written by someone named Sutanuka Gosal. Okay. And it was on the Jan 23rd, 2022. Okay, first of all, let's just look at the title. Gold savings accounts likely to check meaning reduce the widening current account deficit. Whose current account? The government's current account, right? For all their bullshit corrupt spending. So for their account, your gold is going to reduce their crap, and all of the irresponsibility and irresponsible spending and corruption. You're going to be paying for it. Okay, synopsis. Customers can open such gold accounts in banks and put in money on a regular basis, the sources said. They can withdraw the deposit at the prevailing gold price. Withdraw at the prevailing gold price. Okay, so it's tracked like grams. Your funds are tracked like grams of gold, but you get back the prevailing price of gold. Not like you get back any level of grams of gold. Okay. At any time, they said, this is expected to reduce the demand for physical gold as blah, blah, blah. Okay, that was just the synopsis part. Now I'm going to read the article. The government may announce gold savings accounts in the upcoming budget as a means to discourage the purchase of metal in its physical form, as it seeks to put a check on the widening current account deficit, banking and trade sources said. Again, so basically, in order to check the spending, or no, in order to check the deficits, in order to reduce their own deficits by not curtailing their own spending, but instead by taking your savings that you would put in gold and, given to your descendants just like that, instead of doing that, they want to take their pound of flesh or their taxes, inheritance taxes, whatever the hell And if you think I'm paranoid on the inheritance tax bit, look it up. There are a bunch of TED Talks that are done on this. They're already talking about this. They've been talking about it for the last 5 years. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Yeah, banking and trade sources said, all right. The government is trying to put in place a national gold policy that can efficiently connect all stakeholders of the gold value chain and help in creating a robust gold ecosystem in the country. Okay, let's look at those words. The government is trying to put in place a national gold policy that efficiently connects all stakeholders of the gold value chain. Stakeholders of what? Not stakeholders in saving your money for your children, no. Stakeholders in the gold value chain. That is short form for bullion banks, traders, those who will short gold to keep the gold price suppressed. Not so you can buy it at a discount, so that the bullion banks and jewelers can buy it at a discount. If they are properly connected and in that corrupt system, then they can. But your so-called gold savings will never really go up along with the gold price, because anytime they will short it. And this happens in America. If you don't believe me, look it up. Look at the charts. All right. Okay. Connect all the stakeholders. Yeah, and help in creating a robust gold ecosystem in the country. A gold ecosystem in the country? I think we have a pretty robust gold ecosystem in the country of India. Please. Yeah. Who is not taking their pound of flesh from this? Are the corrupt politicians. That's who. If the gold savings account is introduced, it will be a step towards it. Customers can open such gold accounts in banks and put in money on a regular basis, the sources said. They can withdraw the deposit at the prevailing gold price at any time, they said. This is expected to reduce the demand for physical gold as an investment. I don't know if it'll reduce the demand of physical gold. I think it'll actually increase it, because people who are wise enough to get this will be like, holy shit. They want to track our gold. Like, basically, if you give like dowry, whatever, I don't even know if dowry still happens. But basically, instead of giving gold, like a baby is born, you give them a gold bangle, bracelet, whatever, earrings, anything. Now, you instead give them this gold money that if they allow the gold price to go up, or if it goes up because the exchange rate tanks so badly, then all your gains are going to be taxed, right? But if you give a kid a little gold thing, and then the kid grows up and all that, and they melt it down, make whatever, the government gets none of that. That's what this is about, them wanting their damn pound of flesh. All right. It is likely that the gold savings will also get interest. Just like the sovereign gold bond, SGB, the yearly interest on SGB is 2.5%. What a freaking joke! 2.5%, my ass! 2.5%? My friends who live in India, you guys know what the inflation rate in India is. It's not 2.5%. It's not even like now people over here in America are crying because the inflation rate is like 10% for like food, 10-20%, maybe, yeah, about 10-20% for food and stuff. They're complaining about that. We've had 10% inflation every bloody year in India. And this, by the way, this business about the sovereign gold bond, they did this in Turkey some years ago, and now look up what is happening to the Turkish lira. You will see exactly what this scheme will do. And I'm glad, at least in India, we call it a scheme, because that is what it is. It's a scheme, it's a proper scheme. Okay. Sources also indicate that there may be an option of accumulation of gold in the gold savings account. The entry in the gold savings passbook will be made in terms of the amount of gold for which deposits are made. Jesus, do you realize this? This is like that FDR move. So I say, okay, I need some money. I don't want to go to like a pawn shop. I take my earrings, I deposit them with the bank. They measure how many grams is this. Okay, they'll credit my account with that many grams. Okay, then I get my whatever 2% interest rate on it. And I'm happy and satisfied. Right. Do you think you're ever going to get your gold back? If you think you will, look up American history and what happened, okay, after Roosevelt took everybody's gold. Yeah. At the time of withdrawal, banks, so the deposit part was the entry in the gold savings will be made in terms of the amount of gold for which the deposits are made. At the time of withdrawal, the banks will make debit entries in the passbook in terms of the amount of gold that is withdrawn, either in gold or in cash equivalent to the price of at least 1 gram in gold. Okay. Or in multiples of 1 gram of gold at the prevailing rate on the date of withdrawal. Okay, this, you may think 1 gram, what's the big deal? No, this is why it's a big deal. 1 gram of gold is $60. Okay, 60, let's assume, I know it's like in between 72 and 73, the exchange rate, dollar to rupee. Let's round up to 75, okay? So 60 multiplied by 75, where that's 6 sevens are 42. So what's that, like $5,000 or $500? I can never get my zeros right. 60, I'm going to use my calculator for this. I'm going to bother. $60 multiplied by 75. So, oh my God. Okay, so 4,500 rupees is per gram rate, okay? So basically, I don't know how valuable 4,500 rupees is in India, what it can buy you, how many avocados it can buy you, or or whatever. But anyways, the point is that, like later on in this article, you'll see they're trying to say this is a good thing for rural India. I don't see any really poor people benefiting from this if the minimum deposit and withdrawal thing is 4,500. And mind you, when it comes to like you deposit your gold grams, they will take out the making charge, they will take out everything, and they will also not allow you to withdraw. Because I know this because even in America they made it like, so they took everybody's 1 ounce and then they converted those into 400 ounce bars. 400 ounces, that 1 ounce has 31 point some grams. So 400 multiplied by 31, that's how much your minimum purchase needed to be. So think about how much money, and that's in dollars, by the way, and then you convert that, multiply by 75 to figure out how many Indian rupees you need, what kind of capacity you need to be able to access this sort of a system, okay? So all this bullshit that they say about this being good for the poor people in India, or like, I don't mean poor people in India, no, I mean the poor of India, the rural communities in India, all this, I really hope that someone does hear this video, because I'm sure there's the internet even in rural India, right? And I hope somebody hears this, because this thing is supposed to be good, or they're pitching it as good for them. No, Sorry. Sorry to bust your bubble. It's not. Okay. The time of withdrawal. Yes, on the date of withdrawal. All right. The government the government may also come up with a regulatory framework for digital gold. So basically regulations to make it digital so that what is a physical thing is now digital and therefore subject to your internet access, to the infrastructure, to whether you have connection, and it's programmable. Okay. India, the second largest consumer of gold in the world, meets most of its annual requirement of 800 to 850 tons of gold through imports. All right. So the gold, the basically the government and the bullion banks, those guys, right? They get their 850 tons through imports. All right. Fair enough. So let them pay for the imports. But who's paying for this? This is where that current account deficit comes in. India's gold imports, which has a bearing on the country's current account deficit, more than doubled to 38 billion US dollars, okay, during April to December this fiscal year. The current account deficit was 9.6 billion in the quarter ended September 30th, 2021. So $38 billion deficit. Okay. And this, they're hoping this thing, the gold of the people basically is going to fund their shenanigans. Banking circles say that the market has Banking circles say that the matter has been discussed with the government. The government is keen to make the gold market more organized and develop the precious metal as an asset class, which suggests the commodity will no longer seen as an undisclosed treasure, but as an investment product. An investment product that can be taxed. I don't have a problem with taxation if you use it to do real stuff, okay? And not just to line the pockets of corrupt politicians. That's what I have a problem with. Big fat cat governments and corrupt politicians. That's what I have a problem with. So this bullshit, wow. Investment product, right? The Reserve Bank of India, okay, the RBI. The RBI can, so in the Reserve Bank of India, for my American friends who may watch this, the RBI is like the Federal Reserve, the central bank basically of India. The RBI can regulate these gold savings account and can ask the banks to hedge against gold. This statement right here is golden. Hedge against gold. You know what that means? That means that if so suppose you have you have all these like gold deposits, right, in the bank, and then or people, suppose this thing goes through and you actually deposit your gold in the bank. Okay, now suddenly the gold price goes way up and you say, hey, you know what, yeah, I want to redeem, like, I doubled my money, yay, I'm going to make a withdrawal. They need to hedge against gold. Remember that, against gold. So that means they sell shorts in the, and I don't mean shorts like chaddis, okay? As somebody who does finance, or your CFA friends and all that, I mean, Indian friends, come on, you guys, you know what it is to short a market, right? Or to short a stock, etc. If you don't know, ask somebody. Someone or the other will know. Okay. So what they'll do is they basically the RBI can regulate these accounts and ask banks to hedge against gold, meaning to sell shorts to offset, to smash the gold price, basically, okay? To smash the gold price so that you as a consumer, as a user, as a normal, regular retail person. Retail, when I say retail, I mean like just regular person, not a company, not some big high funder person. You cannot take the benefits of these gains. Only the big boys can, you know. So yeah, so that's why, because otherwise what will happen, there'll be chaos, right? Everybody will rush to take double the money, yay, let's take it, and then the banks will be empty, and then we're like, what the heck, we did this so that we could take our pound of flesh, and now these people are running off. So that thing about shorting the market, that is, or shorting gold in the market and smashing down the gold price, that's a horrible idea. Like, that's been happening in America, and generationally, that's the reason why Americans generally are not big gold people. Like, they don't think that gold is anything valuable or anything. They've like brainwashed the American generations out of understanding really what gold is, and it is shameful. I think it's absolutely shameful that Indians think they can do this to Indians. Jesus. Okay. If this happens, then it will be a good thing for the gold trade. Not a good thing for the humans who live in India. Not good things for for Indian people who live and save, and and say, what, screw the banks. The bank will go bust tomorrow. I'll just keep my money on me. No, it'll not be good for them. It'll be good for the gold trade. Yes. We have seen how well the SGB has been accepted in the Indian market. Wow. So they already managed to screw some people. Okay. The government will also look at strengthening the digital gold transactions. Oh, God help us. Yeah, so basically strengthening you doing your physical work in digits, so that if the system is out, if there is a big mass outage or anything, you say bye-bye to your assets. Very good. Yes. The government will also look at strengthening the digital gold transactions, said Shekhar Bhandari, president and business head of global transactions at the Kotak Mahindra Bank. All right. Unlike the SGB, where the bonds are issued in tranches and remain open for a few days for subscription, the gold savings account will allow the investor to make a deposit at any time. Yeah, come give me your gold at any time. Yeah. However, the government may fix upper and lower limits for deposits. So they'll fix their limits. And okay, upper limits, fine, okay, you're trying to limit black money and all that, but lower limit also, then how dare you say, as they will say later on in this article, that that this is good for the rural people and all that. The government may fix the minimum deposit equivalent to the price of 1 gram of gold. The People, this Economic Times spoke to, said higher deposits will likely be in multiples of 1 gram. So basically 5,000 Indian rupees ish. Those are the multiples. The gold savings account will also enable rural India. Oh, enable the rural India. Okay, yeah. To do what? To become wealthier? No. The gold savings account will also enable rural India to become part of the organized and formal gold trade. So the gold savings account will also enable rural India to get screwed and give their pound of flesh also to the government. Like, it's not bad enough how they screw the Indian farmers. Okay. Surendra Mehta, a national secretary of the India Bullion and Jewelers Association. Yeah, I told you, right? Bullion banks and jewelers, they benefit, yes. So Surendra Mehta, of this national secretary of the IBJA, said it needs to be seen how the government fixes daily price. In India, gold prices can vary from city to city depending on the transport costs and the rates decided by local jewelry associations. Oh, wow. This is incredible. So basically, yes, normally your gold rate is, it may vary based on transport and all that. But now they can set like a standard price, which, okay, maybe that's good. But is it really? Like, how much transparency is there in this setting of the, this government fixing the daily price? Wow. So let me tell you an anecdote here from America. So back in those days, apparently Roosevelt used to decide the gold price, and he used to decide in like he would say, okay, today take the gold price up by 21 cents. Why? Because his lucky number was 7 and it's multiplied by 3. This is the bullshit way in which they would decide what to, how to change the gold price every day. Yeah, and I'm totally serious about this. Okay, I'm not making this shit up. Okay, Surendra, yeah, okay. So, in the case of SGB, so that sovereign gold bond, the RBI, the Reserve Bank of India, takes the rate fixed by the IBJA method set. So, this guy is saying, oh, we have to, like, he's basically only going to back it based on how they fix the rate, and he's saying, oh, by the way, in this other model, they take the rate that's fixed by me or by us or whatever, his company, this the India Bullion Jewelers Association. Yeah, fishy. Uh, the government has already taken steps to formalize. Oh, yeah, this, I have to say, the government has already taken steps to formalize the country's gold business by introducing the gold monetization scheme. By the way, this is something that even Turkey did some years ago. And just Google and research, do your own research. Look at what's happening in Turkey right now. Seriously. By introducing the gold monetization scheme, the gold sovereign bond, mandatory hallmarking, and the introduction of, so mandatory hallmarking basically means that each piece, and yeah, that's true, like even here in America, like every piece will have, like on the inside, it will say like 9999, whatever the number, like the purity basically, and the weight, etc. It'll say that, so yeah, so that, okay, that's some standardization to guarantee purity. Okay, that's fine. This is I'm not particularly hot about this idea, but whatever, this is things they've already done. This is even in America, this happens. Is basically, they say that it's for fraud prevention, but actually it is a means of tracking it for capital gains tax purposes, because like if you have a unique identifier, then basically that identifier, you can see when it was sold, what the purchase price was, when it was sold to you, when you acquired it, then when you sold it to somebody else, what is that sale price, etc., then what's your capital gains tax, and then you can pay the government whatever, 50% of your gains. Yeah, that's why it is there. So yeah, so the government has already taken steps to formalize the country's gold business by introducing the gold monetization scheme, sovereign gold bond, mandatory hallmarking, and introduction of the HUID, that ID that I just said, an introduction of the hallmark unique identification number for each piece of jewelry. So there. This is the article. It's on Economic Times. Salivate Metal, thank you for enlightening me about the presence of this article, because, yeah, I have to warn my Indian friends. Please look up what happened in America in 1932, 1933. The big Great Depression that occurred in the whole 30s, the massive inflation, all that stuff, all those precursors to the Second World War. Okay, read about all that, and if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me in the comments. And I'm going to also show you, you should look at these three videos. I'll show you on my queue here of these 3 videos are by Salivate Metal. It basically, these top 3, not the Sadhguru one, obviously. But yeah, that one is the one that I'm just talking about. And that one is sort of how they're trying to make silver popular in India now, which, by the way, in America also, Americans, they were big on silver. And I always wondered why. Well, duh, because they didn't have access to gold all those years. And now they're completely brainwashed out of it. And I don't want the same thing to happen to India. So thank you for listening. Please show this video to your children. And I'm not big on the whole let's share, like, subscribe, and all that BS, but do share this one, or at least share the article with your kids, with everybody you care about. Okay? Thank you for listening. Bye. Take care.